Would you be stoked if you were the thing that brought down Trump's campaign?
I think that would be kind of ridiculous.
Would you be happy about it though?
Give everybody a chance to breathe.
If it did come out that Trump was lying and the American people found it, Trump was a liar.
It did come out. He is lying. Yes, Anthony Anderson, he was there.
They were charging me some pool fee for being at. I haven't been there, but I did. Somebody did send me something today that said Trump said he didn't know me.
He said he didn't know you. I actually have his tweet right here.
Tweet.
This is very exciting. He's with exposure. He thinks it's very careful to just barely be on TV at all.
Barely get yourself out there.
But is that true? You say you claim right here you have met him.
Yeah, I've met him a lot.
You've played golf with him.
I played golf with him.
I don't know Samuel L. Jackson, to the best of my knowledge, haven't played golf with him, and think he does too many TV commercials. Boring, not a fan.
Not a bad thing.
Now, it's very interesting when Donald Trump says someone is out on TV too much.
Before we dive in, folks, I'd really appreciate it if you could give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. It helps us keep bringing you quality content. Also, drop a comment below and let us know what's one thing you admire about Samuel L. Jackson. Now, let's talk about the bombshell he just dropped on Donald Trump. And trust me, it shook the former president's gold-plated ego more than any comedy roast ever could. If you'd like to support independent journalism, click the first link in the description. So here's what went down. On the 9th of June, 2025, Jackson posted what seemed like an innocent Instagram story. It showed a billing statement from Trump National Golf Club in Orlando. Nothing too wild, until people noticed the account included annual payments being sent directly to Jackson's private residence, even though he hadn't stepped foot on a Trump golf course in over 3 years.
I want to ask you about Donald Trump. You are in a feud with Donald Trump right now. Do you know this?
No, I don't.
Because it's very exciting.
Oh,
for
really?
me, because he doesn't like me either, and so anytime there's somebody new he doesn't like, I feel a fraternity, a brotherhood with him.
Yeah, and I had my assistant call and tell him I don't really belong to that club and I haven't been there in 3 years. And they go, well, you are a member and here's your member number. Okay, so we're having beef?
You're having beef because I guess you said in an interview that you were a better golfer than him, and then you told a story. Is this true that he signed you up for one of your golf clubs and didn't tell you?
Yeah, he used to call me. I have another person that can verify that he knows me. He called me one day. I was here in New York, and he was always calling him, Samuel L. the Don. I go, who? The Don.
I got bad news for you.
Yeah.
The one person that might not back you up right now in this story is Bill Clinton, because I don't know if he's going to want to say a story that he was golfing with Donald Trump either.
He didn't golf that day.
He didn't golf that day?
He did not golf that day.
So who did you end up golfing with?
With Mr. Clinton. And when I got there, it was President Clinton.
Really?
Who could also verify that Donald Trump knows me.
Wow. Here's the bummer.
And Don did show up, and he took Bill in and bought him a jacket.
It almost felt like identity theft, just with invoices instead of stolen credit cards. Imagine trying to hand a man like Samuel L. Jackson, who's all about precision and doing things his own way, a golf club jacket he never asked for. At first, Jackson was baffled. He later told reporters, "My assistant called them and said, Sam Jackson isn't a member. How could he be billed for a club he never even joined? It's been years since he paid you anything." Their response? "Oh, he is," they said confidently. "His member number is such and such." The whole thing played out like a plot twist straight out of a Quentin Tarantino movie. By roping in celebrities without their consent, fudging stats, inflating social credibility, and quietly collecting dues, Trump's golf empire appeared to be padding its membership numbers. It was absurd, and a little unsettling, to see Jackson listed as an active member years after his last round of golf with Trump back in 2021 at the Bedminster Club. At the time, Jackson figured the whole thing had ended with their post-game banter and the bill he settled that day. Clearly, it hadn't.
What did you think of that MF-er Donald Trump tweeting that you're a boring actor who does too many TV commercials?
Oh my God, did he tweet that?
Yeah, he did.
Speaking of which, the #1 question for you was, what's in your wallet?
My wife's hand.
There you go. Your new Capital One commercial comes out during March Madness.
Oh.
What was your reaction to that?
I look at my bank account, I laugh.
One quick question about a little kerfuffle that you and Donald Trump are in. I just wanted to know, are you surprised that this has become a thing in the press?
Is it a thing in the press?
Why do you think he's saying?
I don't know. I don't care. You know, come on. He has to say whatever he has to say. He has to say. You know, and it's one of those interesting things that he called me one day to play golf, not to play with him, but to play with a friend of his. No, it's not. Tell me it's not. I mean, really? I mean, out of all the things that need to be dealt with presidentially, he's worried about me saying that he cheats at golf, or that he doesn't really know me. Is that what the deal?
Samuel L. Jackson's viral takedown of Trump's golf club wasn't just funny, it was a sharp critique backed by receipts. After posting proof that he was being billed as a member of a club he never officially joined, Jackson ignited a storm. The club insisted he was a member, despite no recent visits or consent. Jackson blurred his address but left the club's info visible, striking a balance between privacy and accountability. Trump's team scrambled to respond, blaming technical errors and pushing hashtags like #WhereMyMoney. But Jackson's cool demeanor and undeniable evidence spoke louder, sparking media debates, legal speculation, and memes showing him wielding a golf club like a lightsaber. What started as a billing issue revealed something deeper, a pattern. A leaked internal memo showed the club had been inflating membership lists by quietly adding celebrities, hoping their names would boost prestige. Jackson's post accidentally exposed the whole scheme, and journalists pounced. On the 14th of June, 2025, the club issued an apology, blaming misunderstandings, and paused its influencer roster. But Jackson wasn't done. He demanded not just compensation, but legal guarantees to stop unauthorized enrollments and data misuse. Trump's administration tried to downplay it, but the damage was done. The scandal became a case study in branding, ethics, consent, and the power of one document to crack a facade. In the end, Jackson reminded everyone, your name and identity aren't just branding tools, they're personal. Misuse them, and the blowback can be swift and brutal.
You were here in 2016. I can't believe it's been that long. That's why we're so happy to have you back. It was 2016 the last time you were here.
Really?
Last time you were here was before the election.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a different world. You have a little cautionary tale for us. Jim?
Please. Don't think the other thing can't happen, because that's why the Brexit is trying to get a recall right now.
We have a clip here. Very few people thought that President Trump could actually make it to the Oval Office.
And I did. You think I can make something else come true?
Sure.
No, I can't do that.
No.
There'll be people knocking on my door.
How does it feel to be right that it could happen?
I don't want to be right. I didn't want to be right. I hoped I was trying to be funny. Yeah, we don't get it.
In 2 years. No, you've looked at have you looked at the crop of challengers to the president? Or is there anybody out there who really afloats your boat?
Not yet.
I think you were trying to make sure people would go vote.
I was really hoping people would go vote, and I hope they'll go vote now, because now they know what can happen. I just haven't been inspired by what everybody's trying to do, say, prove, whatever. I kind of wish somebody as people-friendly in my mind as...
You are reprising your role as John Shaft II.
Yes.
John Shaft II in Shaft. Is that a fun character to revisit?
It's always fun to play John Shaft. I got to say really corny lines like, it's my duty to please that booty. But you get to be cool, you get to be irreverent, you get really nice clothes. Let me see. Can we get this on camera? Would that be a bill from Trump National? I think it is.
Why do you think he's saying?
I don't know. I don't care. You know me? Is that what the deal is? Wow, that's awful. Let me see. Let me fix that. Let me find something that might help me with that. Yeah, come on. He has to say whatever he has to say. He has to say. You know, and it's one of those interesting things that he called me one day to play golf, not to play with him, but to play with a friend of his. And I went to play with that friend of his, and that friend of his turned out to be Bill.
He had last swung a club at Bedminster in August 2020, invited by Trump, ironically, not to play with Trump himself, but with a friend. Now, 5 years later, a bill arrived like an overdue plot twist. Jackson responded as only he could by taking a photo of the invoice, blacking out his personal address, and posting it to Instagram with a scathing caption, "I guess I'm on the hook for another 4-figure bill from a club I never joined. Mr. President, Did I miss the membership memo instantly? The internet exploded. Fans rallied. Memes multiplied. Questions were asked, loudly. How could a former president's golf empire bill someone for a club they never joined? And what else in that empire was running on creative accounting? Trump's response was immediate and predictably defensive. He denied knowing Jackson, mocked his career, and declared that only the finest people were members of his exclusive clubs. But what was meant to deflect scrutiny only intensified it, especially when Trump mentioned Jackson by name, something even his own digital team had reportedly advised against. Then came the second wave. Jackson, calm and deliberate, uploaded a video titled, "Club, Let's Have a Conversation." In it, he methodically broke down the timeline, his past dues, last paid in 2021, the absence of a renewed contract, and the club's inexplicable ongoing billing. The performance was surgical. It wasn't anger that cut deep, it was clarity. Branding experts pointed out the irony. Trump, a man whose brand had always been his name, had effectively lost control of it to a billing clerk spreadsheet. The symbolic unraveling was brutal. A name once synonymous with exclusivity and success was now tangled in claims of fraud and false billing. As Jackson's post gained traction, more names emerged, public figures who had also been unknowingly listed as members. Investigative journalists uncovered an internal club memo outlining a deliberate marketing strategy. Staff were instructed to add high-profile influencers to the club's roster without consent, hoping the association would attract real members. It wasn't a billing error, it was deception by design. On the 14th of June, 2025, under intense public pressure, the Chiron Golf Club, parent entity of Trump National Orlando, released a formal statement. "We regret any misunderstanding caused by our membership policies. The influencer roster has been suspended indefinitely pending a full review." But Jackson wasn't done. Through legal counsel, he demanded not just reimbursement, but a binding commitment. No more fraudulent enrollments, full deletion of unlawfully obtained personal data, and compliance under Florida's Deceptive and Unfair Trade Practices Act. Legal experts weighed in. Penalties for such violations could reach 6 figures per offense. The influencer list had the potential to become a class-action time bomb. While Trump's team scrambled to shift headlines, floating new policy wins, or engaging in culture war fodder, Jackson stayed on message. He posted updates, shared interviews, and continued demanding accountability. In one particularly biting follow-up, he quipped, "Next time, I'll send the IRS a check for my National Guard dues before letting a golf club bill me for their fantasies." Cable networks dissected the case, noting how Jackson's approach, calm, humorous, fact-based, stood in stark contrast to the typical noise of celebrity feuds. It wasn't about ego. It was about ownership, of one's name, of consent, of truth. The impact rippled outward. Trump merchandise sales dipped. Club memberships were paused. Investors quietly re-evaluated their ties to the Trump brand. In an off-the-cuff podcast appearance, Trump tried to reframe the story as media noise and celebrity self-importance, but the damage had already taken root. By fall of 2025, the club had reimbursed Jackson and other erroneously billed figures. The internal audit's findings, set to be released in November, are expected to reveal just how deep the practice ran and how much Trump's business relied on artificial affiliations. For his part, Jackson returned to film projects, interviews, and speaking engagements, but the incident remained a key reference in his public appearances. "It started with a golf bill," he said on a late-night talk show, "but it became a lesson in power, privacy, and the price of using someone's name without their permission."